The Oneida Community was one of the most radical and intriguing religious communes in 19th century America. Founded in 1848 by John Humphrey Noyes in upstate New York, it blended Christian religious fervor with revolutionary social experimentation. Known for its unconventional practices such as communal living, shared property, and complex marriage, the Oneida Community sought to create a utopian society. Although it flourished for several decades, the commune eventually collapsed due to internal strife, external opposition, and shifting cultural values in the broader American society. The Oneida Community emerged from the religious revivalism of the Second Great Awakening, a movement that inspired numerous religious and social experiments in the early 1800s. During this period, new sects and spiritual movements questioned traditional Protestant doctrines, offering radical new visions of society. John Humphrey Noyes, the community's charismatic founder, was deeply influenced by this environment. A graduate of Yale Divinity School, Noyes initially sought ordination in the Congregational Church. However, his beliefs on perfectionism diverged from orthodox Christian teachings. Noyes argued that individuals could achieve moral and spiritual perfection in their earthly lives. This radical idea, known as Christian perfectionism, formed the cornerstone of his religious philosophy. Noyes also believed that traditional social structures such as private property, exclusive marriage, and individualism were no longer necessary for those who had achieved spiritual perfection. In his view, these societal norms were merely mechanisms to control sin which could be overcome through conversion. These radical beliefs became the foundation for the communal life of the Oneida Community. In 1848, Noyes and a group of followers moved to Oneida, New York, to establish a community based on their shared religious ideals. The commune grew to between 200 and 300 members at its peak, and embraced a form of communalism that was far-reaching in scope. In the Oneida Community, not only was property shared, but so too were relationships, child-rearing, and even criticism. The community's most controversial practice was the concept of complex marriage. In this system, monogamy was rejected in favor of communal marriage, in which all adult members were considered married to one another. Sexual relationships were permitted, but only under the community's strict regulation, with the aim of eliminating jealousy, possessiveness, and emotional exclusivity. Another distinctive aspect of the Oneida Community was its practice of mutual criticism. This involved members gathering to openly critique one another's behaviors and attitudes. Far from being optional, this practice was a core feature of the community's spiritual development. The goal was to promote personal growth and accountability, ensuring that members remained free from sin. Mutual criticism sessions were either conducted in small groups or individually, with members expected to receive and reflect on the feedback given by their peers. Child-rearing in the Oneida Community was also communal. Instead of being raised exclusively by their biological parents, children were considered the responsibility of the entire community. The idea was to provide children with a consistent moral and spiritual upbringing, untethered to any single family unit. Biological parents played a limited role in their children's lives, as the community prioritized the collective over individual family bonds. Children typically lived in separate quarters under the supervision of appointed caretakers, a practice that was viewed as essential for fostering spiritual purity and social cohesion. In the 1860s, the Oneida Community launched a eugenic experiment called stirpiculture, a selective breeding program designed to produce spiritually and morally superior offspring. Noyes believed that human beings, like animals and plants, could be selectively bred to enhance desirable traits. Over 50 children were born through this system, but the program sparked significant controversy, even within the community. It reflected the growing obsession within Oneida with perfectionism, extending it into the biological realm. Despite these radical practices, the Oneida Community was also an economically successful enterprise. The community's members worked collectively in various industries, including farming, silk production, and manufacturing. Their most successful business venture was the production of silverware, which became renowned for its high quality. The Oneida silverware business eventually became the foundation for the community's financial stability. and would outlast the communal society itself. However, by the late 19th century, the Oneida community began to unravel. Several factors contributed to its decline. Internal dissent became increasingly pronounced as some members grew uncomfortable with the more extreme practices, particularly complex marriage. Younger generations, in particular, desired more traditional family structures and were resistant to the idea of communal relationships. This created tensions within the community, undermining its cohesion. Leadership issues also contributed to the community's collapse. Noyes had always been a central figure in the community, and his charismatic leadership helped maintain unity. However, as he grew older and his health deteriorated, Noyes faced difficulties maintaining control. When legal pressures and social opposition to the community's practices intensified, Noyes fled to Canada in 1879. His departure created a leadership vacuum, leaving the community without a clear direction. External opposition also played a significant role in the Oneida community's downfall. American society in the late 19th century was becoming increasingly conservative, particularly in matters of morality and family structure. The community's practice of complex marriage, in particular, drew widespread condemnation. As Victorian values took hold in America, Oneida's radical social experiments were seen as immoral and dangerous. Newspapers, religious leaders and local authorities campaigned against the community, viewing it as a threat to the social order. Moreover, the broader cultural shift toward individualism and industrial capitalism made communal living less viable. As America entered the Gilded Age, economic and social priorities shifted away from utopian ideals toward individual achievement and wealth accumulation. The Oneida community's communal ethos was increasingly out of step with the times, contributing to its decline. In 1881, the Oneida community formally disbanded. Many of its members chose to embrace monogamous marriage and return to conventional social norms. However, the silverware business that had supported the community remained profitable. The Oneida community transformed itself into a joint stock company, known as Oneida Limited. This company became one of the world's leading manufacturers of silverware, and its success ensured that the Oneida name would continue to have a legacy long after the commune itself ceased to exist. The Oneida community stands as a remarkable example of America's utopian experiments during the 19th century. Rooted in religious fervor and a belief in human perfectibility, it sought to create a radically egalitarian society. Despite its eventual failure, the community's bold experiments in marriage, property, and communal living challenged the boundaries of what was possible in religious and social reform. Its ultimate collapse illustrates the difficulties of sustaining utopian ideals in the face of internal conflicts and external pressures. Yet, the community's lasting economic success in the form of Oneida Limited provides an enduring reminder of the blend of idealism and pragmatism that characterized this unique chapter in American history.